There's a bit of light reading for you. It runs to some 200 pages. Oh, I'm wrong. It runs to actually 219 pages. It is, if you read the front of it, it's in the Superior Court of the State of Delaware. Emmanuel Macron, Brigitte Macron against Candace Owens. The French president and his wife are suing a right-wing podcaster in the US for reviving claims that Brigitte Macron could be a man. Now, the lawsuit accuses Candace Owens of carrying out what the Macron's lawyer calls a relentless year-long campaign of defamation. Owens teased on social media that she will address the story on a podcast in the coming hours. We've reached out to her for further comment. Tom Clare is the attorney representing the Macrons and joins me now. Mr. Clare, I'm grateful. You will forgive me. I've not read much of the 219 pages at this point, but it's still early days. Look, Tom. Politicians, the Macrons, they're used to having everything thrown at them. Why did they decide on this occasion this had to be litigated and therefore into the full glare of publicity?
Of course. Thanks for having me, Richard. The Macrons, just like any other person, have a reputation and they have a right to their reputation. And this was not in any way their first choice, was to have to bring this claim. For the better part of 7 months, they have tried to get Candace Owens to acknowledge the facts and evidence proving that her claims are wrong and to engage constructively with the truth. And each time she has mocked them and she has repeated and doubled down on her false claims. And I would say also, these types of false statements become a cancer, right? They metastasize into other media outlets, and pretty soon it becomes an accepted part of the narrative. And the president and Mrs. Macron had enough. This is somebody who has put herself, with Candace Owens, has put herself at the epicenter of this lie here in the United States, and they feel it's important to hold her accountable.
Don't you feel that you're just going to give it more oxygen? And yes, you know, eventually the Macrons may prevail in cases, but there'll be depositions, there'll be witness statements. They're going to have to, I mean, you know, what do you do if suddenly it goes to trial, which it probably won't do, but if it goes to trial and Owens calls the Macrons?
Well, you know, look, the fact that they're willing to undergo that process that you just described conveys volumes about how serious they are about this and how important it is to them to stand up to this. They are incredibly hurt by the falsehoods and the repetition of these falsehoods, and that they are prepared to undergo that crucible speaks volumes about how important it is to them. And you're right, it does give more airtime to Candace Owens than she deserves. You're 100% right about that. But it is important that the public be properly informed, and the way we do that in our system is through the court system, where there are rules and evidence and standards, and they're prepared to do it.
I mean, it is a bit, well, it's perfectly legitimate, but it is a bit weird for a president of one country to be suing in the courts of another.
You know, I will acknowledge that it is not without precedent, but again, it speaks volumes to how important this is to President and Mrs. Macron, that they're willing to come to the United States and do it. And plus, this is where Candace Owens can be found. It's important for her United States audience to see this play out in a public courtroom and in a public filing.
What are they seeking, other than a cease and desist? Are they seeking large damages? Are they seeking, as we've seen in other cases, essentially the closure of her company and her podcast and the like?
Sure. So this is a claim for monetary damages in the United States. A claim for defamation only can recover defamation damages, so damages to reputation, economic harm, and the like, and we'll come forward to prove those things at trial. But we also hope to set the record straight. We're going to have a public trial. The evidence is going to be presented, and this crazy conspiracy narrative is going to be put to rest for once and for all.
You do realize if this comes to trial, it will be a circus, the like of which we've never seen before.
Certainly understand that. We're no stranger to that. When our firm took on Dominion, our firm represented Dominion Voting Systems in the case against Fox News a few years ago. Same courtroom, same courthouse, same media circus. And so we stand ready to stand shoulder to shoulder with President and Mrs. Macron as they go through that.
Tom, please come as this goes through, and as much as you can legally, let's talk more about it in the future. We do a lot of things on law and important things like that. I'm grateful for you, sir, tonight. Thank you.